Kinetic studies is another area where students can aspire for. Marketing, teaching, information technology based jobs like medical writing, etc. are the modern pharmacy education, which gives them some insights into into that particular area for many of the students, and they can also look for the careers in those opportunities. Then students with pharmacy degree can also work as drug inspectors, government analysts, forensic lab technicians, and actually these are on government side. Many more opportunities are awaiting for the pharmacy students. Coming to the opportunities in India, as we all know that every individual's health is linked with the medicines and indirectly with the pharmaceutical research. With the high population growth in our country, there are also growing opportunities for pharma professionals at every level. Based on this, we can say that India is the largest provider of generic drugs globally, and the Indian pharma industry supplies over half of the global demand for vaccines and one-third the demand for generics in the US market and 1/4% of all medicines in the UK. This gives a clear-cut idea for the pharmacy students, saying that there are so many opportunities which are awaiting for the pharma students, and the nation enjoys an important position in the global pharma sector. But when we are looking for the opportunities in pharma sector, there are also so many challenges which are also awaiting for the pharmacy students. Like the Indian pharma industry, which faces lack of research components and real-time good manufacturing practices. So there is an opportunity for the pharma students where you can always increase the research and development activity and also the good manufacturing practices. So now for students from AP, Hyderabad happens to be the best bet still, despite from some new units which are coming at places in AP like Vizag, Srikakulam, etc. Apart from that, Hyderabad is always considered as a hub for pharma sector for the entire country. Then the pharma companies should build in such a way that they are always be equipped with the better operational facilities and also the abilities. As we all know that Indian pharma companies are not getting proper profits. So to increase the profitability, the pharma industry is dependent more on China for the supply of raw materials for their generic medicines production. So now India needs user-friendly government policy for the common man to establish. So all these things will help the pharma students to establish themselves in these industries here. Now the students has to focus if they have to manufacture a particular APA or a formulation, what are the raw materials which are required, and then where from we are getting these raw materials, and then who is the best manufacturer of the raw materials here, and the raw material which are produced from small scale units should be properly validated in the testing laboratory of the particular source for their quality specifications. So for that also we need lot of manpower for their quality checks. So these are the many opportunities which are awaiting for the pharma students in India. As we all know that there is an economic recessions in the recent past which affected every industry but not the pharma sector, which actually flourished manifolds, I can say. This is because the demand of drugs is always going up. Why? Why the demand of drugs is always going up? Because of lot of new problems due to poor hygiene and sanitations which are arising day by day, thereby increasing dependency on pharma sector for their control. As we all know, are aware of it, in Hyderabad and surrounding districts. So there are hundreds of pharma units which are established for the past 40 to 50 years, which are engaged in formulations, drug processing, drug research, then pharmaceutical analysis, marketing, within India and also overseas. Even the import of APIs and raw materials, as I mentioned, from countries like China have many jobs which are dealing with their quality checks at source. So whenever we want to buy any product from any source, we need to go there, we need to audit that particular facility. Unless you have an auditing experience, you will not be able to audit that particular facility. So that need to be done with a lot of experience before dispatch and inspection on receipt into factory premises. That need to be done. Many times we'll have a question saying that after degree in pharma, what I need to do, whether I have to go for M pharmacy, or I need to go for MBA in pharmacy, or I need to go for MS in pharmacy with the good opportunities in R&D sector for making new drugs where the development activity will be more. Once you develop any product, you need to verify that whether the method what you developed is a specific method for the particular drug that need to be done. Then apart from the verification, validation also need to be done at the same facility here. After getting enough experience in pharma industry, you can also become a consultant or you can also become an auditor for many USFDA programs in India and also in abroad. Coming to the job opportunities after degree in pharma. So many opportunities are awaiting for the pharma students. If you are interested, that all depends upon your passion towards a particular subject. It all depends whether you want to go for academic area, then teaching in pharmacy institutes, or you can also go for drug administration, wherein drug inspector or central or state government jobs are awaiting for the drug control laboratories. You can also choose an opportunity where marketing is again a lucrative field where you can always market the product, and also the product management is also one of the particular area which is lucrative for the students. And medical representative is another area that you can also look for the regional manager jobs of marketing. And then as we all know, pharmaceutical industries. In pharmaceutical industries, different categories are there like production, quality control, quality assurance, research and product development, there is R&D. There is always a purchase division will be there, inventory management will be there. As I mentioned, IPR. IPR is nothing but a pharmaceutical law. If everything is good for you, you can also establish your own pharma company, and you can also own a retail or wholesale medicine shop. So nowadays, the pharmaceutical companies can gain major efficiency gains in their quality control department also through an approach that combines operational excellence because of all these job opportunities with a data-driven change and also people management. According to a benchmark of Valcon, while an efficiency gain of sum of 20% cost is relatively straightforward for many of the pharma industries and also for pharma students. So quality control, as I mentioned, miscellaneous jobs. Quality control is a key part of a key division of any pharma student where they can go for community pharmacy, they can also go for defense, they can also go for customs, and they can also look for lucrative jobs in Middle East and developed countries. So where quality control is an essential part of the pharmaceutical industry, it's a primary process. And then the companies need to ensure that their drugs are always safe and they comply with all the quality standards. And regulations are the mandatory requirements for any drug. So regulations set by local and also by the international bodies. In realizing this, the pharma companies conduct a range of activities including performing chemical experiments in different areas. So in so-called quality control laboratories, and sometimes these industries will be running complex data modeling and analysis on drug performance, and also they conduct external assessment also. For all these, pharma students' experience always is a mandatory requirement. Against the backdrop of growing need for the speed and cost effectiveness, hello, shall I continue? Hello.
Madam, yes, madam, you can continue.
Thank you.
Sorry for the disturbance. Madam, can you present PPT or shall I present?
Yeah, I'm presenting.
We are not coming, madam. For us, not coming PPT. It's not showing.
Yeah, you presented that is.
Which page, madam?
So I'm in job opportunities after degree in pharma.
1 minute, madam.
ఇదేని చెప్తే అసలు అర్థం చేసుకోరా వీళ్ళు. ఈమె ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఏందో సంపెత్తుంది.
No, madam. Go little above. Yes, here. Job opportunities. Yellow color.
పైకి పోయి
Next
చెప్పేసి
page.
రావాలి.
Before that.
పైన
Yes,
పైన
yes.
ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిట్ ఎంటర్ అవ్వమని వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
Yes, madam. Shall I continue?
గేదమహాన్ని
Yes. Shall I continue?
Yes, madam, you can continue.
So against the backdrop of growing need for speed and cost effectiveness, amid growing competition from globalized players and also the more agile market entrants nowadays, for all departments to perform optimally, if the company is to remain competitive, the company has to be more competitive. Yes.
Madam, any problem?
Hello.
Madam, any problem?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of the backdrop of growing need for speed and cost effectiveness amid growing competition from globalized players and more agile market constraints. So it is nowadays a key for all the departments to perform optimally if the company is to remain competitive. The company has to remain competitive here. And because of that, what is going to happen here is, in the case of quality control, because quality control is the key division of quality control and quality assurance are the key divisions of any pharma industry, where students can look for the opportunities there. That's why I just want to speak a little more about quality control and quality assurance departments. So in the case of quality control, delays on control processes can have a negative impact on the product supply, operations. In worst case, what can happen is it results in late delivery to customers, and it also results in the delays in production batch releases. All these things can happen here. So there is a lot of challenge for the pharma companies to stay in better control of their control function. So for that, what they need to do here is they have to combine the operational excellence with the data-driven insight and also the powerful change leadership practice that need to be done by them. So I'll take one specific example to explain you. A leading pharmaceutical
యూట్యూబ్
company,
చెప్పాను సార్ రెండు అందుకే నేను మీకు చెప్తాను
a leading pharmaceutical company ran a number of lean initiatives in its function imagine, and without any increase in the absence of the stress levels, a productivity gain can always be achieved. So all these things are very, very important to have a job opportunity after degree in pharma, either in quality control department or in quality assurance department or in the management department, etc. Madam, next slide. If you are not interested in the core subject of pharma, imagine, in such case, so you can always look for the production department, or you can also look for the opportunities in career material storage, that is nothing but the warehouse department. What is production? What it talks about? You need to know about that. So production always deals with the scale-up considerations, because we'll be synthesizing a particular product in R&D level, in half kg level, or 250 grams, or sometimes 1 kg level, imagine. You need to go for the scale-up. Whenever you are going up for scale-up, the impurity percentage sometimes may increase. So you need to know what impurities are very important for us, whether they are the known impurities or they are the unknown impurities. That need to be checked when it goes up for scale. And during production here, you need to concentrate more on the cooling property, you need to concentrate on the stoichiometry, you need to concentrate on the solvent extractions, unit operations, the formulations and the pre-formulation development here, the powder feeding in continuous manufacturing process, powder blending, milling, granulation. All these things are very much required when you are looking for an opportunity in production area. You need to have an idea about all these things. Coming to the raw material storage, which I'll say that it is nothing but the warehouse department. So whenever you want to work in warehouse department, you need to know what are the storage conditions of each and every raw material, and whether it is packed properly or not. Are you getting the proper product from the particular source or not? You need to check yourself. So you need to have an idea about all these things when you want to work in raw material storage department. As I already mentioned, quality control, anyhow I'm going to discuss in detail about the quality control and the quality assurance departments here. And then maintenance, once a product is manufactured in the production by the production people, so you have to store all the active pharmaceutical ingredients and also their respective formulations. How do you store them? What are their temperatures? So what is their shelf life? How do you label them? All these things are very much required, and having a knowledge about all these things is a mandatory requirement for the students who wants to go into that particular area. Coming to the excipient management. What is this excipient management? Excipient management always talks about the formulations. So we need different excipients which are required. And then, as I mentioned, so excipient management is another very good area, lucrative area for students who are looking for the jobs in that particular area. And students can also look for medical representative jobs and also for clinical research counseling jobs. Madam, next slide. So coming to the different fields of pharmacy graduates who are hired in, like as I mentioned, pharmaceutical company departments, all these things you can just, as I mentioned here. Madam, next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So when we are looking for the lucrative jobs, so there is an advantage for all these pharma students. Hyderabad is a good advantage for them, because the prominent companies such as Dr. Reddy's, BioE, Hetero, Gland Pharma, NATCO, all these companies which put together occupy a very high position in India's pharma sector, which have established their base in Hyderabad. They employ thousands of pharma graduates each year, and now The government of Telangana recently started, probably you are aware of this, started development of pharmacy on the outskirts of Hyderabad. And then it is said to have a pollution-free. It is said to have a pollution-free environment.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
కొంచెం స్లోగా చెప్పండి మేడం. వాయిస్ ఓకే,
Uh-huh.
స్పీడ్ వెళ్తున్నారు మేడం.
Okay. Thank you.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Okay. Okay. Now Hyderabad, backside, before slide. Yeah.
మేడం యూ కెన్ కంటిన్యూ మేడం.
Okay. Now I'm unable to see the slide. Yes. Opportunities in Hyderabad, advantage and Hyderabad. Yes. No, advantage in Hyderabad. So we have a lot of advantage with Hyderabad. That is, the prominent companies such as Dr. Reddy's, BioE, Hetero Pharma, Gland Pharma, Natco Pharma, Arvindo Pharma, all these companies, they put together and they occupy a very high position in India's pharma sector, which has established their base in Hyderabad. So what is the advantage do we have having these pharma companies in Hyderabad? That is, they employ thousands of pharma graduates each year. That is the best advantage what we have. We have to grab the opportunity here. But now, as you are aware, the government of Telangana recently started the development of pharmacy on the outskirts of Hyderabad. And it is said to have a pollution-free environment and comfortable living conditions for thousands of pharma employees, which are going to work there in coming years. And apart from all these pharma industries here in Hyderabad, we also have foreign establishments or foreign organizations which are responsible for maintaining global standards in the pharmaceutical industry, such as USFDA, have also established themselves in Hyderabad. Next slide. Coming to other pharma centers in India, with many more states encouraging private companies to establish their factories, many opportunities are now available also in states like Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, etc., which provides huge employment opportunities for all these students, with many benefits provided by the respective state governments. Pharma sector is growing rapidly, and our Honorable PM Narendra Modi recently declared that India can supply 60% of COVID-19 vaccine, which is required by the whole world. So now, India also supplied preventive medicines to 160 countries when COVID-19 struck the world. And this indicates that widespread opportunities and potential for employment available in the country, and the importance of pharma in sustenance of human race against dangerous pandemics. This gives lot of hope for all the pharma students. Next slide. Newer opportunities due to tensions with China. Why we are speaking only about China? Because till now we are getting all our raw materials, all our in-process materials, all our intermediates, sometimes APAs also we are getting only from China. The reason is China will always supply us the products with a low cost. So when we want to make the pharma industries, when they want to make profits, so they have to these pharma industries they used to rely more on the China products. Now China is a global supplier of raw materials for all the developing countries, and India was the biggest importer. With the tensions on our borders escalating, there is a hold on getting the raw materials from there by both the government and private sectors instead. All are trying to develop and process these raw materials and KSMs. What are KSMs? KSMs are the key starting materials which we used to get it from China only. But now what we want to do here is we want to make our own KSMs. We want to make our own KSMs. Whenever you want to make your own KSMs, so different industries have to come up to make their own KSMs and they have to market their products. So that gives me many opportunities for pharma students. A huge sector of API industry is going to thrive soon within India to extract, process, develop these input materials involving huge pharma manpower on its R&D, testing and marketing to tap export avenues within India. As API industry is going to widen manifold, there will be huge opportunities to export the raw materials, whatever we are manufacturing, we are able to export them to other countries where again pharma trained manpower is essential.
Madam, excuse me, madam.
Yes,
Just a
ma'am.
minute.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
Madam Padmaja, Madam. Now you can
Yes.
proceed, Madam, because there was little disturbance in the Facebook when we are taking the screenshots.
Okay.
One name is displaying in the screen. To avoid that, we have stopped for 1 minute. Now we can continue, Madam.
Yes. No issue.
Sorry for the interruption, students. Now you can carry on, please. Thank you, madam. Please proceed.
So I was there. Uh, shall I share my screen?
Madam, now screen. Do you have? Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm able to do that. But if you're not here, I'm here. The
Yeah.
newer opportunities due to tensions with me. There
Okay.
won't be
Okay.
any problem for you, right? Okay.
No problem, madam.
Yeah.
Okay. లేదు.
No issue. You can continue, sir, no issue. Because I'll be speaking something else also in between with respect to each and every
Madam, where
division.
you in which
Here,
now?
here.
Okay. This
I'm
is the
here.
slide.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Please proceed. Sorry, students. Sorry for the disturbance.
We all are looking for the newer opportunities due to tensions with China. So now what we want to do is we want to we don't want to import the products from China. Instead, what we want to do is we want to make our own raw materials. We want to make our own APIs. We want to make our own KSMs, that's key starting materials. And so now what we want to do is once it is done, the quality check at our end is also completed. We want to export all the raw materials to other countries where again pharma trained manpower is essential. So next slide. Next slide. Coming to the developments in the pharma sector in India. Back slide. So go back. Yes. So coming to the developments in the pharma sector in India here, a strong services sector which heralds well for the continued economic prosperity, and it also suggests that why India looks to be important. Many countries are looking towards us, saying that we want to get our product from India only. Probably you would have heard our US President also mentioned that we want to buy the product from India. So India looks to be important for research and development as well as drug manufacture. And India's pharmaceutical industry looks set for a solid long-term growth. And it already ranks 14th in the global league table. We always have to be proud of it. And India's manufacturing clout has made it a massive threat to established generic firms. India now produces more than 20% of the world's generics. Moreover, around $70 billion worth of drugs are expected to go off patent. That is a one lucrative thing what we need to keep in mind. So many drugs are expected to go off patent in the US over the next 3 years, and it is well positioned to take a substantial share of the resulting new generic markets. Next slide. 47 Indian companies today account for 35% of ANDAs. These are the abbreviated new drug applications. Approvals granted by the USFDA. India's generic houses are entering into strategic alliances with the global pharma companies to strengthen their generic portfolios, and they want to jointly market these drugs globally. So, if I take an example here, I'll say that Pfizer has entered alliances with Aurobindo and Claris to market their drugs in offshore markets. So they tied up with each other. Similarly, GlaxoSmithKline has acquired exclusive rights for Dr. Reddy's Laboratories pipeline of over 100 generic drugs for sale in emerging markets. In addition to partnering with global pharma, some Indian companies are also setting up their own marketing subsidiaries abroad. That gives them many opportunities again here. Next. We have different business models which are evolved here. In recent years, India's pharma companies have also begun to move up the value chain. Now, foreign companies are now increasingly tapping India's growing research skills. in addition to its manufacturing skills. Now, R&D joint ventures are also growing in popularity. Some Indian companies are collaborating with overseas players to enhance their vaccine development capabilities. Example, Panacea Biotech has a joint venture with Chiron for development and also market their vaccines. Similarly, Novavax and Cadila Pharmaceuticals in Gujarat-based company, which have a joint venture for the development and manufacture of vaccines and other biopharmaceutical products in India. Next slide. Coming to the evolving business models, what are the different business models which have been evolved that gives us lot many opportunities for the pharma students here. Like first thing coming to the export oriented business model, you can go for contract research and manufacturing sectors. So they'll be having their own idea, they'll be giving us idea and we'll be manufacturing their products. So who are the companies who are doing this? Cipla, DRL, Dishman, GVK, all these laboratories are doing this contract manufacturing services they are providing. And then licensing is another one area which is lucrative area where you can go for in licensing, Lupin Pharma and all these things are in that. And you can also go for out licensing of that also. Glenmark Forest and Glenmark Teijin, all these are in that. Coming to the franchising of that, you can go for Fortis Healthcare, Medicine Shopping. There's another lucrative area. There are so many joint ventures of, as I mentioned, Novavax and Cadila, Novotech and ETA Clinical. This is another business model that has emerged. And then from India, we are in tie-up with Glenmark, Arcade, Aurobindo are in tie-up with other companies of abroad. And then coming to the other companies, Pfizer, GSK, Novartis are partially or wholly owned subsidiaries which are present in India itself. That gives us lucrative opportunities for pharma students. Next slide. Coming to the opportunities abroad. Before the opportunities in abroad, I just want to mention the quality assurance and quality control. Whenever you want to look for opportunities in abroad, many opportunities are there for skilled manpower who got experience in quality assurance, are certified manpower in quality assurance and quality control departments. With India considered a hub for pharma research and production of varieties of medicines, India's well-trained manpower in pharma sector is on high demand abroad. And as we know that, no country can ill afford to ignore health needs of its people, and therefore high quality pharma personnel or the certified personnel are getting good opportunities outside India. Particularly in the developed countries like US, UK, Germany, we have many opportunities. And it is a fact that many of Indian pharma companies were started by our own Indian professionals who excel in their research works abroad and achieve new peaks in their careers. So that gives some sort of satisfaction to say that yes, sky is the limit for Indian pharma professionals. Next slide. Next slide. So the biopharma industry is global with the biggest companies operating in several countries. The two largest hubs for biotech companies, according to ProClinical, It's a life sciences company, our life sciences recruiting company, which are there only in Boston and San Francisco. In USA, they say that the pharma hub is Boston or San Francisco only. And the US pharmaceutical market accounts for 45% of the global market and hence makes it a desirable destination for job seekers in the pharma industry. To setting outside. And another thing is Germany, another good opportunity where Germany's pharmaceutical revenue is expected to grow to US 65 billions by 2020. And 8% of life sciences jobs fall within R&D only, with major companies such as Bayer AG recruiting in Germany and worldwide. Germany is also an ideal destination for pharma students. Next. Apart from US and Germany, the following countries also have an expanding pharmaceutical industry while encouraging Indian students with certifications. As I mentioned, certification in QA, certification in QC, sometimes for many of the industries as a mandatory requirement. Coming to the French pharma industry, which employs about 99,000 people directly to manage 750 vaccine projects globally. In Singapore, the biopharma industry employs about 6,000 people. Then coming to Switzerland, the two dominant pharma employers are the global powerhouses. Probably you have heard of it, Novartis and Roche. We have Novartis in Hyderabad also. The Swiss life sciences industry employed more than 40,000 people at over 240 companies. In Japan, due to the aging population, the pharma industry is projected to have a growth of 17%. Italy is well known for its pharmaceutical manufacturing and strength in Europe and employs around 62,000 people in the life science industry. Next. So coming to the requirements to enter the US industry. So there are some requirements like to become US, an Indian graduate needs to have a valid degree which is recognized by the PCA. What is PCA? Probably you are aware of this. That is nothing but Pharmacy Council of India, which is the statutory body of Government of India. So when once you are recognized means you will get a better opportunity in US and clear the TOEFL exam. That is a test of English as a foreign language, and you need to qualify in NAPLEX exam. What is this NAPLEX exam? NAPLEX is North American Pharmacist Licensure Examination measures a candidate's knowledge of practice of pharmacy. You may have to clear MPJE exam also. MPJE is a multi-state pharmacy jurisprudence examination which combines federal and state, and it serves as the pharmaceutical law. So all these are the requirements for any Indian graduate to enter into the US industry. You need to complete minimum internship and also the work hours to become a certified pharmacist. Next, coming to the opportunities in United Kingdom, the UK always welcomes healthcare professionals with open arms, and as an Indian graduate, you would have to clear the certification exam of UK Pharmacy Council, which is very easy. And as the degree from India is recognized by the UK board, the need for an extra 1 year course is no more a deterrent for the Indian graduates. But still, it would take nearly 6 months for you to get certified. Then M-Pharmacy graduates can always look for opportunities in NHS. NHS is National Health Services, which is there in UK. So you can, if you have an aspiration to become a scientist, you can look for an opportunity in NHS itself, where they'll conduct a training program, and you can always opt to train in any of the following areas, like clinical bioinformatics, life sciences, physical sciences, and biomechanical engineering, physiological sciences. In any of these areas, you have to be trained. This training lasts for 3 years, and once completed, the candidates would be eligible to apply for suitable healthcare science course. This is another fascinating area what I'll see. Next. To become a typical employers in the UK, the pharmacy graduates are also employed in industry by private sector organizations such as food and drink companies to work in areas such as R&D, quality assurance, marketing, sales, and management. Other types of employers are also available in UK, and they include armed forces, and you can work as military pharmacist, as the Royal Navy, Army, and Air Force. So many opportunities are there in defense also for our Indian students in UK. Then universities with research institutions. So there is a career for pharmacy student as an academic pharmacist. And veterinary pharmacy practices are also there, wherein you can work as a veterinary pharmacist for a specialist practices like university veterinary schools, at the pharmaceutical industry, and government departments and agencies such as Veterinary Medicine Directorate. So the majority of community pharmacists in UK, they work in large retail chains. That is nothing but the supply chain what we talk about, or the independent pharmacies of various sizes. And then others are employed by small or medium-sized chain stores like GP surgeries or health centers, etc. The majority of hospital pharmacists, they work only for hospitals within NHS. And it is also possible to work for private hospitals. The qualified pharmacist can work as locum, which is nothing but a temporary replacement pharmacist, either on a self-employed basis or through an agency. You can work. You will have an opportunity to work for that. Before going for the skills for your CV, I just want to discuss in detail little about the quality control activities and also about the quality assurance department. I'll go a little slow. So whoever wants to note down, you can note down please. So coming to the quality assurance department functions and the practices. So what the quality assurance department has to ensure, they have to ensure the proper warehousing practices, like for incoming components like APIs, excipients, packaging materials, containers, and closures. Then labeling is also another important area. The labels with proper storage conditions, which is required for drug stability. The QA department is like feather of that particular industry. Any pharma industry, QA is a feather of that particular pharma industry. And QA department is responsible for the proper storage of APIs and other excipients. So to see that whether the quality assurance department is working properly or not. So this is one critical activity which has to be performed by the QA department. That is IPQA. IPQA. What is IPQA here? That is in process quality assurance. What it does, it keeps an eye on all floor activities related to the storage of raw materials to the final product dispatch. Before starting any manufacturing process, the IPQA person ensure the paperwork and the physical condition of the area. You are aware of all these activities which are going on in QA once you want to enter into that particular department where the product is going manufactured. During the manufacturing of the product, several samples are collected by the IPQA department, which comes under QA again, for testing to ensure the quality of the product during the manufacture process. And whenever the production is going on, the process monitoring, the process controls has to be there to ensure that all the steps followed for the manufacturing of the product are validated as per the SOP. You need to know what is an SOP, what it talks about, whether we are sticking to the SOP or not. That need to be checked by these people. So you need to be certified in these areas. If the QA person is found any alteration in the method of manufacturing of the product, then appropriate action is taken to ensure the quality of the product. And another important function of the QA department is batch record review. Batch record review. All the data which is generated during the manufacturing of the pharmaceutical product is always recorded in a file, either in the form of a soft copy or in the form of a hard copy, which tell us about the all essential data related to product manufacturing, like timing of the process, ingredients, environmental conditions, the person who involved in this process, etc. At the end, the QA person review the batch record to ensure the data to enter in the batch record, which is legible. So all these practices need to be done by you before entering into that particular department. If QA person is formed, any kind of data integrity is another important area which we need to concentrate on issues, then the appropriate action is taken as per the SOP here. So when all these things have been done, there is a final release of the drug product for the distribution and sale. When the pharmaceutical product is manufactured and packed, then the role of QA comes to ensure that the product is safe for market or not. And all the QC test reports are attached with the batch record. And all the calculation related to that are correct. They need to ensure. And several other parameters are checked. And after ensuring the product safety, then the QA person allowed to distribute the product in the market. Another lucrative area for all the pharmacy students is stability testing area and the evaluation of shelf life of products. How do we do this? For that, you need to have an idea about the responsibility of the QA department for the stability testing of the pharmaceutical product, which is manufactured in and ensure that the shelf life of the product is same as for the study which is mentioned for the particular product. Why do we have to do all these things? We want to avoid the market compliance. So learning about the stability testing and also the evaluation of the shelf life of the product also be known for any student whoever wants to enter into that particular area. Next, whenever you want a good quality product, we need to ensure, or the QA person need to ensure, the proper warehousing of the finished products, like storage conditions, whether the temperature mapping has been done in the warehouse or not. The storage conditions always plays an important role in the stability of the pharmaceutical product. So, the QA person ensures all the parameters which are required to prevent the product decontamination. That is also in nowadays, whenever or wherever you go for an audit, so you need to ask for whether there is a cross contamination or not, or decontamination during the storage. If you are interested to enter into QA area, so you need to know what are the types of compliance and what are the types of product recalls which will happen for any pharma industry. In case of any market complaint which comes to the manufacturing factory, then it is the responsibility of a QA department to act on that and the appropriate action is taken by them. Or in case of product recall, many times for many industries this happened also, is required from the market, then the QA department initiate the recall process and ensure all the products related to the compliant batch is recalled. How do you do all these things? This has been done, or this has to be done only with the help of an SOP here. All this decision is performed through the SOP only. How do we handle the change control system? In QA department, there's one more department, that is a change control department. How do we handle the change control system? Any change has to be noted in QA by the QA person. Any other than validated step or the activity which is required to fix in any document or the process which is taken through the change control system. What is this change control? It's a documented process to apply change in the pharmaceutical industry. Change control system finally reviewed by the QA department for approval. All these are the minimum requirements of a QA department. So whenever we want to enter into the QA department, you should be fully aware of all these things before entering into the departments. I just suggest you to go for the certification or taking enough training in that particular area and enter into that particular area. Coming to the quality control activities. The main function of quality control, what it does, it is to test and verify the product quality against the predefined standards that will be done by the quality control. And it is an essential operation in pharma industry, as we all know. New and better medical agents are being produced to an accelerated rate. Now, as we know that, now for COVID-19, we are trying to do a lot of research. We are trying to do a lot of development activities as we don't have much time. Okay, so that is nothing but all these things will be done in an accelerated rate. At the same time, more exacting and sophisticated analytical methods are being developed for their evaluation. So, pharmaceutical analysis is another lucrative area for all the pharma students. What is the main responsibility of the quality control department? What it does, it checks the efficacy, safety, quality, and compliance of these materials to control the quality product or the product quality. Controlling each and every step of the process can control the variations, manufacturing practice controls, packaging controls, and the distribution controls here. When all these things have been done, so written products, imagine if they are there. So how do you manage them? How do you dispose them? When the product is returned in the manufacturing factory, due to any reason, the QA department is responsible to take action on that particular product. Whether perform the same addition process on the product to prevent, or in the case of the product is not salvaged, the product is destroyed on the order of the QA department. That can also be done. If sometimes what can happen is if any product is recalled, we'll go for a reprocessing of the non-conforming products. So how do we go for the reprocessing of the non-conforming products? For that also QA department allows the reprocessing of the product if the manufactured product don't meet the expected quality parameter in the final quality testing, and the QA department monitors all the reprocessing activities closely. Finally, what I want to say here is, in a nutshell, there are so many functions are related to the quality assurance department, where it will plan, it will manage all the activities of the complete pharma industry to assure the quality of all products which are manufactured by the company, coordinate with manufacturing departments in controlling their processes and products at every stage of manufacturing to meet the established specifications through testing, auditing, reporting. Why I'm discussing about all these things, the functions of QA department, the functions of QC department? Because whatever I mentioned, these pharmacy students, whether you are a bachelor of B pharmacy student, or you are an M pharmacy student, or you are a BSc chemistry student also, I want to say that many opportunities are waiting for you in all these departments where, as I mentioned, in process control, so a lot of manpower is required. There is one IPQA department is there. What is IPQA? Annual Product Quality Assurance Department. Further also, a lot of manpower is required. When a product is recalled, writing a document also manpower is required. And they have to ensure the quality of a product. Again, manpower is required. For reprocessing also manpower is required. For R&D facilities also a lot of manpower is required. And then they have to give a lot of infrastructure to the quality people, like a lot of machinery is required. And we need to do, when that machinery is required by the quality personnel, when this machinery is required by the quality personnel, so regular intervals, what we need to do is we need to calibrate these instruments. Again, there is a need of manpower there. The testing of these subjects is also manpower is required. So for in-process testing, different manpower. For intermediate testing, different manpower. For final product testing, different manpower. Like different departments are there for different pharma students. Coming to the warehouse department. Nowadays, the warehouse department is equipped with a software. So you need to have little IT knowledge. So which is designed to automate the processes, including those involving the documentation for the chain of custody, the QC handling of controlled substances, and the temperature, and the controlled inventory also can be taken here, which will aid the human error, which will reduce the risk of damages. So coming to, now we are facing the COVID situation here. With the rapid onset of coronavirus, many pharma companies are being forced to prepare a scenario in which their representatives or the providers will be able to get all these facilities and also the opportunities for pharma students, which will change the whole scenario here. And these changes will also have positions in different organizations for their successful future. in pharma industries, and for pharma students, there is a new barrier which is there for them to succeed in accomplishing opportunities with the market changes. For that, they have to look for what is a market strategy, that is, a change in types of messaging you use and the channels you use to communicate with your customers. That's one requirement. There is a technology requirement also because of this. There is a leverage technology that facilitates person to person interaction without in person contact also has to be developed. So because of COVID, these many opportunities have been arised for the former students here. So coming to the developing of the skill set for your CV, from my end, what I suggest here is studying pharmacy always enables you to develop skills which are specific to the role of a pharmacist, which includes the knowledge of facts and theories relating to the design and manufacturing of medicines. What do you mean by the theories relating to the design? Like, so we are, imagine, I want to manufacture one particular product, or I want to go for the scale up of one particular product. I need, these are the raw materials which are required for me, and where from I am getting. I need to go that particular source area, I need to audit that facility. So that skill set is always required for you. Then coming to the ROAs of the raw material, whatever we are purchasing, that is also required. The knowledge of the facts and theories, that is nothing but the skill set which is required to audit the facility, the skill set which is required to understand the ROAs of the raw materials and the type of impurities. Whenever I say that the type of impurities, in impurities also will be having known impurities and unknown impurities. Having the knowledge on the known impurities and the unknown impurities, sometimes we may be getting some impurities during the process also. We should be aware of the type of impurities what can crop up during the production only. You should be always aware of that. So you need to have a skill set on that, and you need to develop to communicate effectively with the people or with the patients, the manufacture of medicines, the quality of the product, etc. here. And the production of pharmacy specific scientific documentation, as I mentioned just now. In QA, different types of documentations are required. So you need to have a skill set for the pharmacy specific scientific documentation writing. And another type of skill set which is required for the operation of pharmaceutical instrumentation. Pharmaceutical instrumentation means you need to go for the impurity profiling of the drugs. You need to find out the quality checks at every end. In process quality check, raw material quality check, intermediate quality check, the final product quality check, and then after keeping it in for stability, as I mentioned, after keeping it for stability, long-term stability or the accelerated stability, you need to go for the quality check of your product, whether it is meeting the requirements or not to be checked. Coming to the knowledge of the law, as I mentioned, which is nothing but the IPR, that is pharmacy law, and the ethical concerns relating to the supply of medicines. And analysis of raw materials is one key area, I will say that. API and formulations. In process and intermediate testing, ROAs of the API, ROAs of the raw material also is required. You need to know about that, how to identify the impurities. So that type of skill set is also required for all the pharmacy students. Apart from all these things, you also develop a broad range of skills that are attractive to employees in other sectors, such as interpersonal skills, the ability to work well as part of a team, numeracy and computation skills are also required, the problem solving skill, and the ability to think clearly and methodically is also required. The time management and the organizational skills and the commercial awareness of these products is also very much required for all these pharmacy students here. So this is about the opportunities. So many opportunities are waiting for the pharma students for in QA department, in QC department, in production area, in warehouse department, in manufacturing area. So different kinds of job opportunities are available in India and abroad. And what I want to say here is, you are aware now, because of the COVID situations here, because of the COVID situations, many more opportunities are there for us. That is because of the prevailing COVID conditions, the need of new medicines, and the novel treatment is felt more and more now. So also the opportunities for the pharma students in India, and more particularly in Hyderabad and in Andhra Pradesh, are more, I'd say. Due to prevailing tensions with China, our pharma graduates have to look for APIs within India and also test them for usage and quality standards. I worked in different pharma industries. In my previous companies, like NATCO and Arene Life Sciences, we used to depute pharma teams to inspect the APIs in China, like countries, before dispatch. And there are plenty of opportunities for pharma students to visit several countries for various purposes. I want to say career in pharma industry will be very, very challenging and thrilling too, apart from fetching good salaries. Okay, this is about the opportunities for the pharma students in India and abroad. Only thing is, finally, what I can say here is, you need to have a passion towards a particular subject to excel in yours. And now, the pharma industry has tremendously gone up. So also the need for pharmacy students in conducting new research, formulations, production, distribution, and supply chain management is increasing. Now, because of the proximity and also the low cost, Indian pharma companies till now they are depending on the outside countries. But now, because of the war-like situation, the time has come for the pharma students for developing all these raw materials within our country, making use of our knowledge. Now, what I say here is, you all need to gear up to meet the growing demand in developing, testing, and identifying the right material for the right medicine. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. A valuable suggestion to the students and a very important subject you have given to the students. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, madam. And students, you have any queries, please put a question in chat box or raise your hand. And I'm extremely sorry, students. Today we are facing a problem in YouTube and Facebook. Just you have listened that. Again, you can listen. I'll give PPT to your mails. I'll send mails today itself. You can prepare.
Whoever is interested, if you want to talk to me, no, I'll give my mobile number. The mobile number is 9348405065. I'll repeat again, 9348405065. This is my mobile number.
Screenshot of it.
You can text me. I'm here to support you with any of your queries. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, madam.
Thanks for listening.
Students, I'll show now PPT madam profile. In that also we are having a contact number of madam and stop presentation. Presentation happening. Control ansala paina ESC kotti Sunita madam, you can speak. 2 minutes, I will be back.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Padmaja Garu, for your lengthy lecture, and you have given elaborately about the career guidance for the today's participants. Thank you so much. I hope students have clarified their doubts and they will get a very good opportunity in India and as well as abroad. Still, if you have any doubts, please feel free contact with Dr. Padmaja Madam. Madam has given her number, contact, communication details openly. So I feel so happy for your wonderful session, Madam. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to speak to students also, madam. This is an opportunity for me. I should thank you.
So in future, we will have many more discussions with you
Sure.
for the
Certainly.
benefit of the students of Hindu College of Pharmacy and as well
I may be little fast also, because I want to cover about the other departments.
Okay.
Because students, all these are the students. They have to know once they want to enter into that particular area. I thought, let me explain them about each and every department so that they can go into that particular area with their certification sort of thing. That's why I was little hurry also to complete the one.
Madam, one of our students raised one doubt.
Okay.
What about the career opportunities in pharmacoeconomics being in India?
Pharmacoeconomics in being in India is actually lot many opportunities are there. Like in Novartis, just a few days back only I heard, because it's a joint venture company. Now because of this COVID situation and because of China, because of the China also, lot many opportunities are arising for pharmacoeconomics field also. So they can be in contact with the Novartis. Many opportunities are there because they are in tie-up with our Indian pharma companies.
Good. And another one, specializations of pharmacists available in various countries.
Yes. Specializations are available. Many specializations are available, and they can go for certification of that also.
Okay, so is there any scope for our graduates getting training?
Pardon, I couldn't get you.
So is there any scope for our Indian pharmacists who can go for a special training to get a placement in foreign countries?
In foreign countries, as I mentioned, the UK and USA, they have to go for the certification part of that. PCA, what they are going in India, is already acceptable in UK. I'll say that.
Okay.
It is already acceptable. Only thing is they have to go for 6 months training program. That's certification program, which is given by the UK government. So number of opportunities are awaiting for the pharma students, not only in NHS and other pharma industries are also. So many opportunities are there. Only thing is they need to choose whether they want to go to QA area, they want to go for QC, or they want to go for economics area, they want to go for the marketing area. As I mentioned, different business models are coming up nowadays. So they need to have a passion in that particular area. What I'll stress that actually.
Is there any organization training in such a aspects in India before going to that particular country?
Yeah, actually, as I've already worked in pharma industry like NATCO Pharma, NATCO
Okay.
Pharma is providing such type of opportunities. They are giving training to students, and then they're hiring them also.
Oh,
NATCO Pharma is doing that. Ready Labs is also there. Ready Labs is also having a training center. They'll train the students and they'll accept.
in India. What
Yes,
about
yes,
abroad?
yes. In India only. Specifically, I'm talking about India.
The students who are looking for placements in abroad, is there any organization is giving a special training for them before going
As I
to?
mentioned, there is a life sciences company which will
Okay.
give opportunities, and they'll train them, and then they'll hire them also.
Okay.
In my slideshow, it is there actually.
Okay.
So one life sciences organization, there's a consultancy company which will give them training for 6 months or for 1 year. Then after that, they'll hire them also.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity.
clarifying the doubts. Yeah.
Thank you so much, madam. Students, I have presented madam's details here. If you have any queries or any information you need, you can contact madam, and madam mail ID also is here. I have presented. And today PPT I will send by mail to all of you. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
We
Maheshwari.
need some more information from your side, madam. Thank you so much, Padmaja madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Sunita madam, thank you so much for your helping to us.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you
you.
so much, madam.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Have a nice day. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. 1 minute, madam. Sorry, will speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam, this is Gopinath. Thank you, madam, for coordination, Sunita madam, and thank you, madam, Padmaja madam. Your speech was very good, and the students was impressed by this speech. Thank you for your speech. We look forward for more webinars like this for the students of AP, madam.
Sure, sir. Yeah, we are here to support many students. So
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure
Thank you
for
so
me.
much.
It's a pleasure for me. So thanks for
Thank-
giving me the opportunity also, sir. Actually.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, everyone. Students, you can all of you leave the section.